A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Right out of the gates, here's Smith. Flushed out right. And some room to maneuver. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Cowboys at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He's trying to get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it's 3rd down. You look at this defense for the Vikings. This unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Out of the gun, Smith. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
3rd and long always tilts to the defense. And I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has the ball. And on that play, they didn't have enough focus on him. And somehow he turned a short pass into a first down.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Smith now to throw. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. CeeDee Lamb with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Here's McCarthy. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Aubrey now for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Breaks through the contact. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Throwing after the interception, McCarthy. And he will go down, a Cowboy sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. That's caught downfield by Addison. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. To the air with McCarthy. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. It was a solid check down there with pressure coming, wasn't it?
It was, because you're trying to go through your progression, and when you have that type of pressure in your face, it changes what you're doing and how fast you have to do your reads, and able to come back and find him in open space. That's a really nice play.
Here's a tap forward by McCarthy on a touch pass. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 18. 31 yards on the punt there. Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys! number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
This is caught by Addison. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. Looking to throw McCarthy. Looking deep downfield. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Throwing is Smith. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. It gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys are able to widen their advantage. Aubrey now for the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Throwing is McCarthy. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Now McCarthy. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half.
He's got a man complete. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys continue to pull away here in this first half. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knocking on the door. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a big...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack. Here's Smith. This is caught. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his track. Touchdown! A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Aubrey good with a PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Back to throw. McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. From the shotgun, McCarthy. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 more there and another first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
McCarthy operating from the gun. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Smith. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Christian Harris. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here we go on 4th. Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw right side taken by Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. His pass caught at the 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Pierce will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Brendan Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Dancing to his left. And some room to work. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. McCarthy off the play fake. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Inside the 10. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Aubrey now for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
And in our meeting with the special teams coordinator, we asked him, what's your philosophy on bringing the ball out? Do you give him a red light? Do you keep him in? Green light, let him go? Let's see if he changes from green light to red light after that costly error.
Yeah, you know what I remember from that meeting? He brought donuts.
I like him.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
But he's not happy right now.
No, and don't tell everyone how many I had.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Smith. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Back to throw, Smith. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amon-Ra St. Brown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys just continue to roll. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here's 2nd and 8. Eluding the pressure right. Addison hauls it in. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
3rd and 4. Here's McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. I respect both sides on that play, CD. For him to be able to hold on to that football and the impressive tackle, wow.
Did you notice the look between the two of them as they came off the ground? That look did say the word respect.
To the air again, McCarthy. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
To the air with McCarthy. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. In motion goes the tight end. Looking to throw McCarthy. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on third and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Going for it. Here's McCarthy. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on fourth down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now first and goal.
Here's a quick throw caught out wide. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal. Throwing is McCarthy. Touchdown, Vikings! From 6 yards away. And the Vikings are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me?
Smith now to throw. Escaping the pressure. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Now, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over 1st and goal. On play action, now McCarthy. They'll roll him out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now McCarthy. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jordan Addison from 6 yards away. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Smith. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Throwing again is Smith. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. That is caught. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Aubrey good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. McCarthy. Completes this to Addison out left. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing again, McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw. McCarthy. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And my goodness, another interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
McCarthy's pass intercepted. The Cowboys take over first and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Smith. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. St. Brown motioning left. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Aubrey now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace where the other offense are going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Dances by him, and he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. as expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
There's a short throw caught by Sanders.
And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Throwing now, Smith. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
From the gun on third down, Smith. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
On fourth down, Smith.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.